Hi students, welcome to Health, Politics, and Policy. We are in Unit 4. In Unit 4, I'm going to talk about variables that affect health. So first, let's look at climate to agriculture. Prior to any deliberative act on the part of policymakers, broad variables like demographics and climate have a role in shaping health outcomes. Sometimes policy and population variables are decidedly difficult to disentangle, while sometimes the connection between the two are crystal clear. One of the most fundamental levels, states vary in terms of their climate. Policymakers can do relatively little to shape the weather and its attendant health effects. State policymakers do, however, have some latitude when it comes to monitoring and regulating pollution. The presence or absence of pollutants can have a profound effect on the health of populations. Next, you have demography. States vary in the demographic profiles. The poorest states include Louisiana, West Virginia, New Mexico, and Mississippi. Health problems multiply with poverty. At the other end of the spectrum are New Hampshire, Maryland, and New Jersey, and Connecticut. Poverty is highly correlated with poor health. The issues are even more complicated and pressing in the case of childhood poverty, which is 3 times as high in the poor states as it is in the rich ones. And then finally, you have political cultures. So across the northern tier of the U.S., from the Atlantic to the Pacific, you can found the moral political culture. In the states comprising this region, a communitarian tendency held sway, that is, community interests were often seen as taking precedence over those of the individual. As a grantor of the community interests, government was generally seen in a positive light, and public services held in particularly high esteem. Just to the south of the moral latitudes lie states characterized by the individual political culture. Here, self-sufficiency is often stressed over government activism. Government is viewed as necessary evil, and there is often greater tolerance of corruption among political leaders. It is hardly coincidental that Illinois, with its long-standing reputation for dirty politics, falls within this group of states. And then finally, you have the Deep South, and this is the home of the traditional political culture. Here, the forces of government, when marshaled at all, are largely limited to preserving the extant social order. As in areas within the individual zone, the power of government has been generally described. So this presentation just gave a couple different areas of how variables of a health can be affected. So for this week, you want to make sure that you complete your lecture review. You want to do your discussion board postings and respond to 2 other students' postings, and then double check the weekly units for any assignments that you have due this week. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great week.